Well, Mayor Zach, one last time here for 2020. Welcome, Mayor's Monday at WSAU, WSAU.com. We got a good day to be outside here today, so why not look ahead to summer, I guess, right?
Yeah, we're not quite into the end of December or January, but yes, I like your thinking. Let's look ahead into summer. Today we're on location at the Wisconsin Rapids Recreational and Aquatic Complex. This facility, as folks can see by the bathhouse behind me, has really risen from the ground since we've been here in the past. When we broke ground last May, when there was a football field and a track here, it looks quite different today. So the bathhouse building is coming along really well. The construction workers, who I must add, are a number of local contractors, Ron's Refrigeration and Current Technologies, in addition to Myron, who is the general contractor on the project, who employs a lot of local people as well. All those folks are working on the bathhouse building, getting the heating and cooling systems installed, the roofing, and some of the other work as associated with the bathhouse and the multi-purpose room. Also over my left shoulder, or the right frame, is the slide towers have now gotten erected on the facility. There are two large slides that are in the facility, and the construction is progressing fine. In consideration for the fact that it is winter and the contractor has made accommodations to switch to winter construction, which a building like the bathhouse, which is the concessions and multi-purpose room, admissions area, as well as the mechanical building, which we can't see behind me or behind the building. That's also the pump house, all the pool equipment room, and that is also being constructed right now.
And that's as we mentioned, things coming really right along. I think it was it August or July or August that we were here, and this, like you said, was a flat surface, and now they really wasted no time getting something very beautiful, very aesthetically pleasing for the neighborhood as well, up in the area.
That's right. And so just this last week, with City Council's December meeting, the council approved season pass and day pass rates for residents and non-residents. Given that residents are investing in the facility through public dollars, residents are going to be afforded discounted rates through day pass and season pass rates. So really excited to have now set those rates. The other component to that is we also set the reservation rates for the multi-purpose room, the outdoor shelter facility, and other reservable spaces like the cabanas and the shade structures within the pool facility. So if community members are interested in buying season passes, we're going to be announcing information on that very soon, so they can reserve their season pass, buy their punch card, so they can look forward to the June opener of this facility.
So it's not quite going to be open in time for the end of the school year, but it's certainly going to be close. And obviously the season for this is pretty short in Wisconsin. Generally, things are wrapped up on that by September or so. So right. I know a lot of residents, you see an investment in something like this and you say, that's a lot of money for 2.5 to 3 months worth of use.
Right.
How is this facility going to be used year round to help kind of alleviate some of those concerns?
Well, if it wasn't under construction right now, we'd have 2 skating areas for ice skating and a lowboard hockey area that'll both be designated within the facility. So folks that want to play a game of pickup hockey, they can do that, or just throw on some skates and do some leisure skating. The facility is also, half of the building is for season, so will be usable year round. So the admissions area, which will be where folks in the summertime scan their pool passes. In the winter, they'll be able to lace up their skates and warm up and buy concessions and use the restroom. So while the pool is exciting and it'll be exciting for the 70-some days, maybe 80 days you get to swim, we want to make sure that this investment is used year-round. So the community room that's reservable for parties and gatherings and family outings will be reservable year-round. So the facility will be available with a lot of amenities. The other piece is there's a large playground that's also installed at the site That's outside the pool facility fence, so as soon as the weather's nice in the spring or in the fall, community members can use that. There's also a small splash pad that will also be outside the fence, so again, a place to cool off for those early summer days that we might get into May that the pool may not be open for. So there's a lot of year-round diverse programming opportunities. We plan to have festivals and possibly a winter Christmas market at the pool facility. Again, pool will be closed, but folks will still be able to enjoy what winter affords us to be outdoors and to be recreating.
Exactly. On a day like today, it is certainly good to get outside during the winter months and have something to do like that. Obviously, where we're standing right now, I'll actually move the camera because we are kind of in the parking lot area of the skate park. So you have the skate park here, and then of course behind us, you can't see it in the camera as well, but it's there, the outfield fence for Witter Field. So in the last few years, this has really kind of become, I guess you could say, Wisconsin Rapids outdoor athletic destination for the summer. This is going to be a pretty good complex that you'll have going on here.
No question, and that was part of our intention with the siting of the facility here, that there's so many great things to leverage with Witter Field. Now, of course, we know it's a busy place already in the summertime on game nights, so when we factored the parking count and the size of the parking lots, we wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to create a problem or a nuisance for the neighborhood. But the Rafters certainly have another great year. They're looking forward to their season. They've got their lease with the city for the use of that facility, and the city has received a request for them to extend their lease. So we're going to be negotiating to keep the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters right here in our community for hopefully at least the next 10 years, if not longer, because they've been a great community partner for the city and certainly for businesses and families that support the Rafters.
Now, that's exactly what I was just going to bring up. I know that lease is going to be coming up for extension here. The Woodchucks in Wausau just signed a lengthy extension on theirs. That might almost go until 2050. So you'll definitely see that coming up in the future this summer as well. So it's going to be a great area, I think, here for people to enjoy, especially in the summer months.
No question.
Talking about some of the other things, that was obviously one of the big accomplishments that we hit in 2019. The other one was the Metalco facility. We talked about that quite a bit as well, but there was also some other things that were highlights for the community in 2019. What were some of those?
Well, earlier this year, the YMCA Boys and Girls Club project announced that they were going to be acquiring the Rapids Mall and beginning a redevelopment of that site, which really took a blighted and vacant mall property and made sure that it wasn't a community drain. And so it was very exciting to see the progress with that project. Of course, they're also in winter construction. The exterior is pretty well finished. Now they need to do parking lot and some other things, but the YMCA project is a major win in Boys and Girls Club, because we know it's more than just a workout facility for the YMCA. We're talking about adding dental care and possibly reaching more community members through their Membership for All program, which ensures that YMCA members have the opportunity, or community members have an opportunity to become a member of the Y. Obviously, Boys and Girls Club serves a great need, and their new facility will have a lot of training opportunities for kids to learn how to learn kitchen safety and learn how to cook with the teaching kitchen that's there, as well as the music program that they're going to be launching, as well as the proximity to the farmers market. So there's a lot of partnership and collaboration opportunities with that. The VA clinic, Veterans Clinic downtown adjacent to that property, also got underway and is under construction right now downtown, and that facility will be opening in late spring, early summer. We talked about the senior housing project right in that area. Really a confluence of probably $35 million of reinvestment in a couple block radius, again, which would have been a blighted or a vacant mall downtown. We also completed a number of construction projects, public works construction projects. East Grand Avenue corridor, something we highlighted over the course of the summer. It was disruptive, certainly during the construction period, but we now have this beautiful gateway into our downtown riverfront district, which, especially this time of the year with the holiday lights strung on the poles, it's got a cool feel to it and an ambiance. So pretty excited about the completion of that project. We had other street reconstruction projects throughout the city that also ran into some snags. We overcame a big windstorm in the city, which completely disrupted everything that we had planned for summer street maintenance and that. So we didn't get to everything we wanted to this year, but we know that the community, and the city really continued to carry on without a blip, despite being without power for almost a week. Community came together. So it was a difficult year from that respect, or in that respect, because of the curveballs that Mother Nature threw us. We had a couple flooding events in the spring, and major snow events. So really, it was a challenging year, but certainly a year of many accomplishments as we think about the community reinvestments and the projects that got underway. Not to mention the new businesses that we celebrated through various ribbon cuttings and grand openings, as well as the groundbreaking of Metalco, who is bringing their major investment to the city.
And looking ahead to 2020, obviously we can't talk a lot about 2020. It's going to be an election year for you. We can't talk about that in this forum. But for the portion that we do know that you will have a job and will be in office, which is up until about the middle of April or so, what is going to be first out of the gate once that calendar turns over in January?
Well, it's the off season from a construction standpoint, so we're always looking at different ways, taking employee input and feedback on how we do things. So I know there's a forum on that right now. We're always, again, planning for the future. We just passed our 2020 budget, and the 2020 budget set forth a couple of new priorities and initiatives, one of which was taking some of our roughest streets from a street surface standpoint and applying a new surface to them through some state monies that we've received. But it's really a lot of planning. Our riverfront development is nearly completed. There'll be some project work that'll continue through into the winter months. They're putting the riverfront railing and that on. And so we're planning for what type of programming and events we want to have at a riverfront, knowing that these are some of the best spaces in our community, that we're blessed to have the natural asset of the Wisconsin River. We've talked about that. But it's a lot about how we program and how we invite the community to use these spaces for various purposes. And so that's going to be a big portion of our work as we head into spring, and certainly looking forward into 2020.
Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add as we close the book on 2019 and close the book on another decade, the second one of this millennium?
Well, certainly it's been a great year in Wisconsin Rapids. I want to wish all of our residents and viewers a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And Wisconsin Rapids as a city, known as Wisconsin Rapids, is 100 years in 2020. So we're going to be announcing some celebrations as we go into the course of the year. But want to wish everyone a very blessed and happy and safe New Year, and look forward to talking to you next year.
100 years. You've got some ways to go to catch up with the likes of Stevens Point. They just celebrated 100. I believe it was 160. But
well, we've been around for 150. But as Wisconsin Rapids, we were two cities that became one and then renamed. We are 100 years as Wisconsin Rapids.
Wisconsin Rapids United.
That's right.
There we go. All right. Well, we always appreciate the time, Mayor Zach, and again, we look forward to chatting again in January of 2020.
Thanks, Michael.